At Optivia, our mission is to offer the world lifelong transformation one healthy habit at a time. The following audio contains the personal testimonials of independent coaches and clients within the Optivia community. Their results are based on the unique experiences of their journey. We cannot guarantee like or similar outcomes. We hope these stories inspire you to continue your journey with or join Optivia, but please note they have not been verified and your individual journey to optimal health will vary. As always, it is our recommendation that you speak with a healthcare provider in the US or a doctor in Singapore and Hong Kong prior to beginning your journey with Optivia. Additionally, this audio may contain income or earning representations of some independent Optivia coaches. We cannot guarantee financial success. Success with Optivia is derived from successful sales efforts, which require hard work, diligence, skill, persistence, competence, and leadership. Optivia acknowledges that this audio may be accessible to Optivia coaches in the US, Hong Kong, and Singapore. For independent Optivia coaches operating in the US, please see the Optivia Income Disclosure Statement for statistics on actual earnings of US coaches under the US Compensation Plan. Please note that the Income Disclosure Statement only applies to independent Optivia coaches operating in the US under the US Compensation Plan and does not in any way constitute any representations as to actual or potential accrual of benefits for Hong Kong or Singapore coaches under the International Compensation Plan. Yours in Health, the Optivia team.
All right, this is about Optivia, inspiring stories of transformation.
Can't wait to hear.
That's me leaping right there. They just cut off my head. So,
Oh,
yeah.
That hurts.
Yeah. Okay, that's not true. I would get in trouble with compliance. I didn't jump that, but boy, I do love running trails, and it's so much fun in the wilderness, my favorite. And this would be a great example of it. Over here on the right-hand side, that's where we're going for Sundance and get to run those trails in Utah. That's my husband and I when we're all cleaned up. And then that in the middle, I don't know if you guys know who that is. Anybody know who that is? Dr. A and Lori Anderson. She's no longer with us. Her story and with Dr. A is in the Habits of Health book, and you'll be learning more about them. And Lori, oh my gosh, she's been the heart of Optivia. She was the first original health coach, and we've had the honor of being their friends and mentors, or being mentored by them for so many years, because we've been coaches for 17 years, over 17 years, full time for myself for about 16 years. Actually, this month is my anniversary, and for you?
What is it, 13 years?
So I should introduce myself. It says on the screen here, but I'm Lisa
Castro,
and that's Jaime Castro or Jaime Castro, whichever you prefer. And that's us smooching in the middle of that picture there. And it's like somebody captured that, and that is one of my fondest memories in a group of a bunch of health coaches. I think that paints a beautiful picture of what we're all about. And if it weren't for Dr. A and Lori Anderson, I have no idea where we would be today.
That's true.
They have been such an inspiration, and the Habits of Health, that if you haven't learned about it, you will, has been such an instrumental part in helping us really develop that dramatic lifestyle change. This is the part of, as a health coach, being able to create a life helping others as we get to travel around the world, when before I could barely get out of bed when I was dealing with so many health issues, and my husband was working overtime and so forth, and I had a magazine that I was working 60, 70 hours a week and really struggling with not getting any sleep, under a lot of stress, not managing it well, and we were broke and broken. And what ended up happening is we got a chance to get healthy with their program. But the main part we want to talk about in this particular presentation is about how it's given us a quality of life that never thought possible once we had our health back. We might have had our healthy body first, then it became the healthy mind, but the healthy finances were last to follow. But with being a coach and being able to help a whole lot of other people, we have been able to really help transform a lot of lives by ours first working on our own health, so we can continue that into the future for other people. I actually became a coach only 2 weeks into my program, because I felt I went from this extremely tired and fatigued space to in so much pain dealing with autoimmune issues, and then to go to a place where, oh my gosh, it is so great through a dramatic lifestyle change. And I don't mean just physically, but the emotional part, the relational parts that have come to pass. This is the part that gets me really excited. We recommitted to our marriage 2 years after we became coaches, because we had changed so dramatically inside and out. So the healthy body, healthy mind, healthy finances, and that showed up in our healthier relationship, continually optimizing that, just like we continue to optimize our healthy mind and body. So that these are more recent pictures of us. And on the lower right-hand corner, that's us for our 40th anniversary. We just celebrated, and we've had 40
Wow,
years
40 years.
Yeah, 40 years of bliss,
Wow.
right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, that's not true. But it's just like everybody else's marriage. We have our times when it's good and when it's not so good, but there's a whole lot more good than there was in the past. My goodness, it was so hard. We were struggling. How would you describe our life back then?
Well, we were, as you were going to say just a while ago, struggling, looking good on the outside, but on the inside, not so good.
You might have been looking good on the outside. I guess I didn't show my before and after photo, but this is more about our after. We did get to a healthier place. We both lost weight, and we lost a lot of emotional baggage in the process. So I wanted to share that story with you because it's like, where are you at and where do you want to be? So I wanted to just read the slide to you here. The worldwide statistics. Worldwide obesity has nearly tripled since 1975. Tripled in that short a period of time. Most of the world's population lives in countries where overweight and obesity kills more people than underweight. We used to worry about starving countries. We're dying from overeating. American statistics, almost a third of adults with partners, 31%, report that money is a major source of conflict in their relationship.
That's true.
Yeah, we can relate to that one. 69% of workers were stressed over their finances, with fully 72% admitting to worrying about their personal finances at work. I sure did. That's why I put so many hours into my work day, is because I was trying to earn more income. And that's why you were doing more overtime.
Thinking that the more I would make, the more I would be able to bring home. And that didn't work out too well.
Yeah, that wasn't helpful for our marriage, for him to be gone so much, nor for me to be stressed out with a luxury real estate magazine that I used to own. And I just thought, got to get this deadline done. And there were times I was up, sometimes as much as 36 hours straight. That is definitely not a healthy body, and it sure didn't make a healthy mind. And it didn't help our finances as much as I hoped it would. So in July 2020, rates of depression and anxiety in the US were more than triple those of early 2019. The simple question, how are you, has turned into an emotional minefield. Oh, do you ever hear, oh my gosh, during these times, or because of, and it's like overwhelming for people sometimes. But I gotta say, becoming a coach and getting to that healthier mind and working on our emotional intelligence, our relational intelligence, all aspects of our health, these challenging times have become more like, how can I times for us? What could we do? What could it look like? Who would want to join us? How many people could benefit from having a quality of life that we have and be able to do it virtually from anywhere you have internet service? What would that look like? So I want you to find out what that might look like. I threw a couple extra photos in here for Dwight and Brittany Whitworth. Welcome, Dwight and Brittany. I thought you might enjoy seeing a couple of pictures on our boat as you shared your story about your family.
Oh, hello, everyone. My name is Brittany Whitworth, and this is my handsome husband, Dwight. And it is always an honor to inspire people with our story. And so, Lisa and Jaime, thank you for the opportunity to share. I found this program 4 years ago, and I thought I was super happy as a school counselor. But in fact, when this guy wanted to get healthy and some other friends, things changed dramatically. So I did start coaching, and that was 4 years ago. And I was able to come home full time and do this. And then Dwight joined me as well. And my goodness, everything has changed.
Yeah, well, and I just want to say we're so excited to be here tonight. And more importantly, we're excited that you're here. I just want to share that 4 years ago, through our mouth and through our eyes and through our actions, we were feeding ourselves unhealthy things through TV or the news or whatever. We lived in the drama triangle, and we were so reactive to so many things. And, you know, if you looked at that picture of our adoptions, we had to raise $54,000 for Zeke's adoption in that first picture. And being in that place, we were at a huge need, struggled, and it was very stressful. And you can see that Brittany was 25 pounds overweight. I was 30 pounds overweight. And as soon as Zeke's adoption was finalized, Brittany took a stand and she found Optivia. And it wasn't long after she found Optivia that I went on a quick trip with the Air Force. And when I got home, I'm pretty certain that 18-year-old girl that I fell in love with in high school was standing at my front door. she just had this life and this vigor. And it was that point that I knew, I don't know what she's doing, but I'm going to do that. And so little did I know, the ladies at work were also feeling that way. So we talked Brittany into becoming a health coach. And we've been thankful ever since. Through that process, if you look at the second picture of our adoption in the first slide, you know, we, as the bills came in, as dealing with the lawyers, as the police clearances, all of the things that the roller coasters of adoption, the paperwork, it's like a month or two process of paperwork alone. As all of that stuff came in, even with the two kids that we had before Naya in our other picture there, you know, we just kind of breezed through it with a little bit more, I guess,
clear mindset.
Confidence, yeah.
We heard Lisa say it on the first call, and we were in a different place.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the picture of us in Florida on the boat, you know, it's been amazing. Coaching has brought us to a whole new place all the way around, body, mind, and finance. And so we, when we look at these pictures of the way our life has transformed, I just want to briefly share what these really mean to us. When I share these pictures with you, the decision to coach really represents joy, freedom, and creating the life we desire. So that top left picture, Dwight and I now work from home. That picture is of us walking our kids to the bus stop and back as a family, and now we're going off to work at our house. We get to do that every day now. You see the pictures of us with our kids. We're taking them up and down the river. We're kayaking. I'm wearing a bathing suit. I'm climbing up rock walls with my kids. So that's the joy. Now the freedom, oh my goodness, the freedom. So in the bottom left picture, when this crazy pandemic started, we decided, because he had become full-time with Optivia and me from home, he was in the Air Force before. And when he became a full-time reservist, y'all, we could go anywhere we wanted to. So we left our home in Colorado Springs. We relocated to the river, and Libby started most of our homeschool days fishing with Dad. Freedom. And then you look at this community. We have incredible mentors. Lisa and Jaime Castro believe in us. Our team inspires us. It's a win-win combination. All of us, you see some of the coaches on our team jumping up at a retreat we had. We are all bettering ourselves so we can better the world one transformation at a time. And it is so much fun. And last but not least, do you see that U-Haul down there? Coaching has allowed us the freedom and ability to create the life we desire. With the Air Force, and he's 17 years in the Air Force, and we've always been told where we're gonna live. And that's okay. We love our country. We've loved serving our country. If you're serving our country, we love you too. But it dictated every part of our life. We decided after being in Texas, closer to family for a little while, we wanted our kids to be around their grandparents. So we just decided we'd sell our house and put everything in a U-Haul and move to Texas. Truly, we lost some weight, and that was great. But truly, our life has changed once we made the decision to pay this incredible gift forward. Oh wait, Lisa, come off and mute, beautiful.
That is so beautiful. Your story is just so inspirational, and the culture that you're creating is just amazing. So thank you for sharing your story. All right, so now to move on to the next person. Well, actually, I want to really share the next slide, and then we'll go on to the next story. All right, so our story of credibility. You ready for this? Okay, this is our company. And what it really consists of is something that is a way to really understand who we are as Optivia. We're a company committed to providing solutions for creating optimal health. Over 30,000 independent Optivia coaches. Our co-founder and independent Optivia coach, Dr. Wayne Scott Anderson, is a New York Times best-selling author with the Habits of Health book that he wrote originally. And our mission is to offer the world lifelong transformation, one healthy habit at a time. That's what we love doing. And then we're backed by our parent company, who's a leader in effective proven meal replacements for over 30 years. We call them fuelings, to be able to fuel our body, products and programs that are proven and effective in clinical studies conducted by researchers from major university teaching hospitals. I mean, we have so many amazing things that we have to offer. We're on the New York Stock Exchange. We're one of those very trusted companies, as you saw in that on the slide where it says that we're Forbes 2017 America's most trustworthy companies. And it's a joint effort, a partnership between Dr. A and our company Medifast that has really brought this together to provide what we have to offer to help people create health and pay it forward to others. And I hope you become part of that journey with us. And then we'll go on to be able to have lifelong transformation. As we said before, one healthy habit at a time. It's not all overnight. It's about optimizing over time. So this is how we do it. We have the 4 components of our system. We've got an independent health coach helping you through your journey. They're there to guide you to the resources and be your cheerleader. And if you ask, that accountability person as well. The Habits of Health Transformational System, that's our educational piece. And I don't mean just education like getting smarter. I'm talking about how to apply it to, we have a healthier mindset around creating a healthy, a life of vitality, optimizing over time. Those 6 steps that we desire to create lifelong transformations. And then we have the life book in there that is going to be able to help somebody take their journey so much further than they ever thought. When we face our current reality and we write the story we want our future to look like, it will take about 6 months to a year, and you will be the author of your own story. Wouldn't that be amazing that you got to pick the ending? All right, the Optivia community. That is probably, every one of these components I say are the most important. It's like they all go hand in hand. So they're just interwoven. We call it integration when you're doing all 4 of these things to set yourself up for long-term success. And those thinking about becoming coaches or are coaches, the more you implement all 4 of these, the better you're determining what your outcome for your future will be if you're going to optimize wherever you are at. So the Optivia fuelings, those have been powerful, and the way they have developed over the years that we've been coaches have been phenomenal. And I'm just really, 17 years later, my brother and sister-in-law are saying, thank you, because we still order. We have 2 homes where we call ourselves Florigonians. We live in Florida and in Oregon and go back and forth. So we keep our pantries full in both places for guests as well as ourselves. So it's because there's such nutrition way to really create health for yourself. All right, so what we offer, the trilogy of optimal health. What do we mean by that? You know, optimal health isn't just this like pie in the sky thing. It's working on your healthy mind, healthy body, healthy finances, and then turning around and helping others do the same. Not that you've arrived and now you can help somebody, it's you can help people in the midst of it. I was 2 weeks into my health journey, which was, I thought I was doing better the first 2 weeks, but my goodness, what happened the next 17 years is unbelievable. So benefits of becoming an independent Optivia coach. It reinforces your decision to be healthy. Does. The accountability part, I was getting ready I went through a plateau early on in my program, but I'd become a coach, and I thought I was literally ready to sabotage myself like I had done so many times before. And I even had my purse over my shoulder, and I said, oh my gosh, I have a help. My dear friend became a client. I wasn't planning on coaching, but she said, I'm only going to do it if you do it. And so I did. And she was the only client I had at the time, but there was something about knowing that I was not only making the choice for myself, but I was also making it as an example to someone else. That accountability helped me to reinforce the decision I was making for health. And as I was turning around, sharing things that I was learning with her, it reinforced it in me as well. It's kind of like my health insurance that becoming a health coach has really helped. Okay, so pay it forward to make a difference. Oh my goodness, it is amazing that compound effect that can happen when you make a difference and share it with someone else who hopefully will even want to share it with someone else. So fun and rewarding. You saw we had a little fun, and it's very rewarding. Actually, we have a lot of fun, don't we?
Yes, we do.
We actually live on the water here in Florida, and we get to go kayaking and paddleboarding, and actually I've only done it twice, and once was Brittany, and then jet skiing, and my husband's Captain Castro, and we get to go boating and take a lot of people with us. And that's what we created this for, was to have retreats so that we could help others really have that transformational development themselves. Talk about rewarding and talk about fun. Going for a walk on the beach. I did my power walk today. Woo, it was 88 degrees, but boy, it felt good. Got a 5K in and got back to work. So compensation, the currency of goodwill. You get to do well by doing good. The more good you do, the more you'll do well. Financial fulfillment, financial needs, goals, there's an asterisk there to let you know that it's going to be based on what you put into it. What you would be working with a coach, we call it team coaching, and they would basically think of it like on-the-job training. And when that happens, you will truly leave a legacy if that is your desire. We wanted to leave a very big one, and we are well on our way to way bigger than we ever imagined. I remember even when we had our 5-year plan out there, what we wanted to create for our future was pie in the sky at the time, but we blew way past that years ago and on to greater things. So what could you do? What kind of legacy would you like to leave? What kind of meaning and purpose do you have in your life? How about your compensation? Are you doing well with your own health? Do you want to pay it forward? This is our next story. I get the honor of introducing a couple I just met last night. I got to celebrate some successes with them and their journey moving forward in not only their health, but also how they're helping others. So Jordan and Joelle, can you take yourselves off mute?
Hey there.
Hi.
Hi there. Welcome. Love to hear your story as you were sharing it with me last night.
Yes, it's such an honor to be on here this evening. And for us, our health coaching journey really started about 5 years ago when our oldest daughter was born and I was diagnosed with postpartum preeclampsia. And I was really sick. I had to get put on blood pressure medication. And at 27 years old, I was told that I may have to be on medication for the rest of my life. And that really lit a fire underneath me to find answers. And I was talking to Jordan and I said, we have to change something in our life. We have to make a lifestyle transition. So I researched and I found I needed something that I could help my husband in his health. I needed something that I could help my family in their health and our friends who needed help. And fast forward to a little over a year ago, we found the Habits of Health transformational system. And let me tell you, our lives will never, ever be the same, and neither will our families. It has been positive change after positive change in each one of our lives. And I only wish that we would have found it sooner.
And Joelle, right when we started as clients, she started coaching. She saw the potential in what this was doing for so many other people. And the ripple effect started in my family. I was able to personally lose 37 pounds, which you got that beautiful picture there that I cringe every time I see, but it's such a celebration now. But even for all of that transformation that I experienced, that my family experienced, as a health coach, I wasn't quite there. My beautiful wife was in immediately, but it took me about 10 months to really decide, like, okay, this game on. And it was a defining moment that I want to end by sharing with you. And it happened at the beginning of August. I was in the Detroit airport, of all places, walking up to get some coffee. And I got up, the barista was helping me, being very nice. And I heard this voice in my head. I believe it was God. And he said, hey, there's a $50 bill in your wallet. Pull it out, give it to her and say, God loves you and has a plan for your life. And I went, oh, and I froze up because this big line had, formed behind me. And so I just choked. And I didn't give her the money. It wasn't even about the money. And I was so upset with myself because, like, I've done way weirder things than give someone $50, right? Who gets scared giving someone money? So that was I was really disappointed in myself. And I prayed about it over the next few days. And here's what my defining moment really became. I heard God say, I gave you $50 so you could bless someone, but you were too afraid of what people would think for you to give that gift. I gave you Optivia to bless so many more people. But for 10 months, you've been scared of what people will think of you. So you haven't been sharing your story on social media. You haven't been reaching out to people, you know, who are like hurting and who need help and who are in a place right now where you were for 12 years of your life, right? I could tell you so many stories we don't have time for tonight, the places of pain that I was in all of these other areas, and physical health was the key that unlocked the prison I had lived in for so long. And God said, hey, I gave you this gift. And you, guess what? When I made the decision to go all in and catch up with this amazing person here, we have been able to help more people than ever before. I won't share numbers, but I'll tell you it's a heck of a lot more than it was in July. And it all started with a decision realizing, man, I can't hold this gift back from so many people who I believe God wants to bless with it. So thanks for letting us share.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness, that was amazing. Thank you for sharing your story. And I wanted to share your story because you're newer health coaches, but you're already have the heart and passion for helping others. So thank you for that. All right, so let's move on quickly through our progressive growth model, Optivia coach. That's what we're talking about. All of these coaches are coaches. We have one more story I'm going to share too. And then they can also start supporting other coaches. And that means they're going to get compensated for also being a business coach, because they are gaining the skill set to turn around and help somebody else. So they're getting compensated not only as a coach for helping their clients, they're also getting compensated for being a business coach to help their coaches learn how to coach their clients. And then some of us have become business leaders, helping business coaches who help their coaches. It's kind of like I think of it like a generational thing. I'm like grandpa and grandma, or both of us are to some of our coaches, where we get to be there and assist in helping them move forward with their team of coaches. So keep that in mind as we listen to another story by Kristina and Ronnie Rodreguez, independent certified Optivia coaches. Would you guys take yourself off mute and let us see your beautiful faces?
Hello, everyone. My name is Ronnie Rodriguez, and this is my beautiful wife, Kristina Rodriguez. And tonight we're going to share a little bit about how Optivia has changed our lives.
Yes, thank you. And thank you so much to everybody that has joined the call. We're so excited to be here and share our story. So I actually was able to get immersed in the Optivia community before I even started my health journey. I had met Lisa Jaime Castro probably a couple years ago, and it took me some time to really want to make some change. And after meeting them and getting to meet a lot of other health coaches, I decided, I want to be around these people more and more. I've been in the financial industry for about 20 years, and I had always said that the best investment is investing in yourself. And I remember coming home after being with the Castros and some other coaches and telling my husband, I'm like, I have this calling, like I have this feeling that we need to be part of Optivia somehow. This was before we even started our health journey. But finally I called up Lisa. I said, okay, we're ready. Let's start to get healthy. And within like probably the first 3 or 4 weeks, I remember feeling amazing and wonderful, calling Lisa up and saying, okay, oh my goodness, I feel so amazing. I just want everybody to feel amazing as I do. So we talked a little bit more and decided again to invest in our future and to become health coaches. And that was life transforming for us. And of course, we've been talking a lot about family and how we can help ourselves and our family and friends. So being a wonderful big sister that I was, I remember reaching out to my younger sister and saying, you have to do this with me because I need your help. And after a few months of her being on her journey and being a health coach, I remember getting a text from her and she said to me, thank you. And I was like, for what? And she said, for giving my soul another purpose. And I was like, oh my God, that just touched me and fulfilled my heart so much. And I looked at Ronnie and I was like, we are going to be able to change so many people's lives and impact people in so many ways, not just with their health, but but with their mindset and with all the opportunities that they have within Optivia. So we talked earlier about the mindset and how that's really a good part of your health, right? And if you're reading in the Life book and in the Habits of Health, it really helps you show up differently. And that's one thing that's impacted us more. So not only are we showing up better for our family, but my husband, I see a huge change in him as well, and the way that he's showing up for not only myself, but for himself and for others, and really getting to enjoy the life that he has now, to travel and meet people and spend a lot of times at car clubs and such. But anyway, I just want to thank Lisa and Jaime again for giving us the opportunity to be part of this wonderful organization, because it's really changing not only our lives, but all of our family and friends' lives as well.
Thank you.
Thank you for being such a
Thank you very much.
amazing part. Our key word is amazing, right? And amazing partners. Matter of fact, one of those car trips were to our house in Oregon, so it was fun. So you've been to both the Oregon and Florida locations, and just loved having that time with you guys. Thank you so much. Okay, the final slide here, I believe, is how does it work for coaches? Relational model, it's focused on optimal well-being, self-employed and independent. I like that part. Full and part-time opportunities, a low startup and operating costs, no inventory. Oh my gosh, I spent so much money on the magazine I used to own and didn't get to keep as much, very much profit based on that. Flexible business, so you can work from anywhere, and I mean anywhere. We've been around the world still working. So no quotas or monthly purchases required. Hallelujah. And then training and support. That is powerful. We have a lot of training and support for you. And then Optivia Coach Support. It's a comprehensive training system. It's a comprehensive training system, Optivia Learning Center. Learn as you earn. It will be modeled for you through the team coaching. Work with a business coach and a mentorship team. We employ team coaching. So you are like an apprentice as you grow. Work at your own pace. Optional local and regional, national wellness and training events are something you can take advantage of as well. We hopefully will be having them in person very soon. Invite you to do that as well. So join our Optivia mission, lifelong transformations, one healthy habit at a time, and help the world create health and well-being.
Yes, help us all.
Yes. Thank you so much for being on, and thank
you
you to all the guest speakers, and thank you for this opportunity.
Good night.
Good night.
At Optivia, our mission is to offer the world lifelong transformation, one healthy habit at a time. The prior audio contained the personal testimonials of independent coaches and clients within the Optivia community. Their results are based on the unique experiences of their journey. We cannot guarantee like or similar outcomes. We hope those stories inspire you to continue your journey with or to consider joining Optivia. But please note that they have not been verified and your individual journey to optimal health will vary. As always, it is our recommendation that you speak with a healthcare provider in the U.S. or a doctor in Singapore and Hong Kong prior to beginning your journey with Optivia. Additionally, this audio may have contained income or earning representations of some independent Optivia coaches. We cannot guarantee financial success. Success with Optivia is derived from successful sales efforts, which require hard work, diligence, skill, persistence, competence, and leadership. Optivia acknowledges that this audio may be accessible to Optivia coaches in the U.S., Hong Kong, and Singapore. For independent Optivia coaches operating in the U.S., please see the Optivia Income Disclosure Statement for statistics on actual earnings of U.S. coaches under the U.S. Compensation Plan. Please note that the Income Disclosure Statement only applies to independent Optivia coaches operating in the U.S. under the U.S. Compensation Plan and does not in any way constitute any representations as to actual or potential accrual of benefits for Hong Kong or Singapore coaches under the International Compensation Plan. Yours in health, the Optivia team.